Hi folks, Sculpting back for another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that I don't think I've already reviewed, and something which is kind of weird for me to review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dark Crystal Skeksis Skeksil, aka the Chamberlain, released by Neca. But before I can talk a little bit about this figure and its design and all the detail and whatnot, I'm going to give you a little brief introduction about the Dark Crystal in case some of you out there haven't seen the movie. Okay. In 1982, Jim Henson, the creator of The Muppets, wrote, produced, and directed a film set in a fantastical world with an expansive detailed mythology, a unique and interesting set of characters, as well as a groundbreaking story and a fantastic soundtrack to go along with it. The practical effects and great Muppetry helped make this film go one step ahead in the fantasy film genre, and as well as developed a cult following over the years. And that film will forever be known as The Dark Crystal. Now, I'm going to stop right there because as much as I would like to go on about this film and how much of a cult following it developed over the years, I do have the film on DVD already. So at some point I will review this movie because it's such a fantastic movie. But that's for another day. So, anyway, the Skeksis Chamberlain. Now, one thing about the Skeksis as well is that the design for them, Brian Frow, the concept artist for the film, said that the Skeksis design is basically a mix of part reptile, part predatory bird, and part dragon. Which I think that goes without saying that if you want to make a villain look bad in a film, especially a fantasy film, use those designs because it works very well for the Skeksis. So this toy itself, it stands about 6 inches tall, which it's so impressive. I do like the design and a lot of time and care gone into making this one toy. The only throwback that I can really call is that since Neca haven't really released any other Dark Crystal figures, I'm hoping at some point they will, but I think this one is a start of how well you make a Dark Crystal figure and how well it can turn out. So without any further ado, let's get a look at the detail. So anyway, a lot of the detail you notice is mainly on the clothing, the texture, and just how well layered it looks is so impressive. It feels really nice, and it just looks fantastic in a lot of detailed ways. So a lot of the detail is mainly in the clothing. You might notice as well that this is actually the Chamberlain in his tattered, exiled clothing, which you would think that hopefully some point Neca will release a more complete variation of this one toy with his proper getup. Hopefully that's somewhere in the plans. But anyway, of course the face sculpting for this is really impressive. I do like a lot of the detail gone into making of the face as well. A lot of the beak and the very evil smirk as well, which this character does have. The Chamberlain itself is mainly, even though the Skeksis are the main villain of the film, the attention was mainly drawn to this one character for a lot of reasons. But anyway, you'll notice a lot of the detail on the face right there. Not sure if you can see it or not, but he does have yellow eyes. But still, this is a really impressive designed face. The texture for it is really nice. A very aged look, which I think works. Oh, I'm holding a pen as well. And of course, the arms as well look pretty decent. Not much I can really say except for how well detailed the clothing is. Really impressive. On the back, you'll notice that the Skeksis as well has spikes on his back like that, which are part of the whole design as well, which look pretty good. And you'll notice as well little arms hidden in the clothing. That's really nice. Now, aside from that, though, even though this toy isn't for playing with, just let me get that out of the way, this toy is not for playing with, it's mainly for having on display, but with that being said, I do think that this toy itself doesn't really need to be played with, because articulation for this toy is quite limited, because even though the legs have no movement, nothing very unpleasant under here, it's just a big bulging wad of skin, where his legs are, but articulation aside, his head can rotate the full 360, which that's really all it can do. It's on a ball joint, and of course, the arms can move up and down like that. One thing as well is that you've got to be really careful with these arms because they are so fragile. A lot of the Neca toys are fragile in a lot of their designs. The arms and the weaponry as well, they're quite fragile. And of course, it does have some good elbow movement, so you can either have the arms going back and forth like that. Really nice. The hands as well. The hands you've got to be really careful with as well. When you take this toy out of the packaging, these hands are quite fragile. They're made of very thin plastic, and they can They can snap, so be very careful with them. And of course the hands have some good wrist articulation. They can rotate the full 360, which that's pretty good. So trying to get this guy at least one good look is hard enough because he's not posable and you can't play with him. But I think this is the best I can come up with him. Evil as the character is, and just really awesome to look at. I'm very impressed with this toy. I can't really recommend this toy enough. If you are a fan of Jim Henson, if you are a fan of the Dark Crystal, and if you are a fan of anything of the Muppet-related franchise, I would recommend this toy a lot. But finishing it off, I just want to go ahead and say that even though this toy hasn't got any articulation, he has a tail. The Skeksis all do have a tail, but the tail itself is quite bendy, so it can bend as well. And of course, you might notice in the cloak, you might notice there's a little bump right there. That's where his tail's supposed to go. So the tail itself, it's there. It has a purpose for being there, and it's still a really impressive design for the toy. I really like this toy a lot. I can't really say anything else about this toy enough I can't really say what hasn't been said about this toy. It's really fantastic. Leg articulation as well, like I said, limited. So the only articulation you're going to get is in the arms and in the head. But really, I think that's enough. But overall, I really like this toy. It's very well painted, and the detail is just astonishing. It's phenomenal. I really like the detail a lot on this toy. The clothing detail and the texture, it's just impressive. I can't recommend this toy enough. If you haven't got him, get him. He's really impressive. But aside from that, though, I do like this toy a lot. I can't really find any flaws except for the fact that his legs don't move, and he's just in the one standing oration, standing pose, which he can't really do anything except just look evil and menacing, which is what the Skeksis are supposed to be there for. So overall, to finish that off, I really like this figure a lot. Very well detailed, great paintwork, fantastic to look at, and like I said, he's not for playing with, so if you want to take him out of the box, if you want to take him out of the packaging, just leave him on the shelf, because he is such a fantastic toy. And of course, to finish this off, go see The Dark Crystal. It's a fantastic movie. You will not be disappointed with how much of a groundbreaking fantasy film it is. So, there we go. This has been The Dark Crystal Skeksis Skeksil, aka the Chamberlain. I do love this figure a lot. Really impressive design for this toy. And I am Sculpting 140, and of course, like always, folks, thanks for watching. Catch you later.